By default, Google will use something called URL expansion to automatically expand your list of final URLs to include subdirectories of your final URLs. However, you can turn this setting off in the campaign level settings. And that brings up an interesting question. Why might you want to use multiple asset groups, especially in light of final URL expansion? Let's say you're a toys retailer. Why not just use a URL that targets all products and let Google handle the rest? Or alternatively, why not just create two separate campaigns, each containing a single asset group for each individual type of toy? The answer to those questions largely depends on your business objectives. Let's look at a few examples. In our first example, let's assume the URLs of your website are organized by product type under the products umbrella directory. Let's say you wanted to run a campaign specifically with a goal of selling board games and puzzles, which are under separate page directories on your website. In this case, it might make sense to include both of these categories in a single asset group because the types of products and audiences are likely similar for both board games and puzzles. By taking this approach, we can target all board games and puzzle pages, including subdirectories, with a single asset group. In another example, let's assume our campaign aims to sell board games and dolls. Now, these two product categories are fairly different, and the audiences interested in these two types of products may be vastly different as well. Here, we might want to use two separate asset groups so that our ads are created and served to target specific audiences with the higher probability of converting. In addition, with multiple asset groups, you can provide more specific and targeted assets in each asset group and better evaluate performance with asset group level reporting. Finally, you may even want to create individual campaigns for each product group if, for example, you have specific budgets tied to each product group. Because your budget is defined at the campaign level, you couldn't accomplish this with two asset groups in the same campaign, because the entire budget is optimized to maximize your conversions or conversion value across all asset groups in the campaign.